Andrew Tate, spoiler alert, I fucking love him. I think he's fucking class. And one thing that I've noticed, and I've heard him comment on this as well, you can tell by somebody's profile picture whether or not they like him. You know, if you've got some fucking, you know, strapping, good-looking young man, you can be guaranteed he's going to like him. But if you've got some big, fat, blue-haired young one, you can be nearly guaranteed she's going to absolutely despise him. Haters going to hate and all that jazz. But in relation to Mr. Tate, I don't agree with everything that he says, first and foremost. There's a lot of, like, especially some of the things that he says about women in particular. You know, all the whole, you know, fucking bitches, all that kind of stuff, like, you know, it's not my shtick. I'm a happily married man. I don't need side chicks and all this jazz. But then again, I'm not a fucking billionaire playboy, so each to their own. But it's something that I've noticed about our culture generally, and when I say our culture, I mean like the West, I suppose, the English-speaking world for the most part. There are a lot of people out there, the wokies, you know, the holier-than-thou crew. And it's a particular type of person that, if you say one thing that they disagree with, or even the one thing that they might necessarily disagree with, but they just don't like, they write you off. You're either absolutely perfect and beyond reproach in every single way, shape and form, or you're a fucking misogynist or a bigot or a fucking racist or a transphobe or fucking whatever, like, whatever flavour the month is. And there's something really, to use one of their own words against them, there's something really fucking toxic about that. Because, like, here's one for you. And this is another little trick that these types of people play. And again, I'm going to try and use this back on them again. Use their own argument back on them. I'd love to ask them, are you in favour of smoking bans in the workplace? Because for the most part, people are. And I'd also ask, are you in favour of government legislation insisting on hygienic workplaces? And again, most people are. And when they agree with you, or say that they are in favour of these things, what I'd love to throw back in their faces, but Hitler said those things. Hitler implemented the first, as far as I'm aware at least, the first smoking bans in the workplace and the first legislation against cruelty to animals as well, I believe. So you know, you're a Nazi. And I was like, of course you're not a Nazi. And I suppose that as I speak out loud, it's the reverse of what I was saying. What I was saying originally was, if you say one wrong thing, you're an evil person. But the other trick they use is, if you agree with anything a quintessentially evil character like Hitler has ever said, then you're somehow evil. But I'm sure Hitler liked drinking water and going to sleep at night. But just because you like drinking water and going to sleep at night, that doesn't make you a Nazi. So, in that sense, of course it's okay to agree with some of the things that Hitler said. Like, I can agree with some of the things that Hitler said without being an anti-Semite and without being some sort of fucking white supremacist. Like, it's preposterous to suggest that you have to agree with everything somebody says, or that if you agree with something an evil person says, that in some way, shape or form makes you evil. It's one I'm going to have to flesh out a little, because I feel like I'm onto something there. There's something to that, and I just like to have it more succinct to pull that card on the woke mob, because And again, I say the woke mob, it's a broad sweeping generalisation, but I think you know the type of person that I'm referring to. And you know, you can be a little bit woke. You don't have to be a complete wokehead to hate anybody who has a good word to say about Andrew Tate. Like, it's funny, in my own social circles, I've mentioned in passing that, you know, I'm a fan of his. And like, again, triggered is the word that I'd use. People lose their shit because they've heard some 5-second soundbite of the worst thing that he's ever said, and they write him off as in his entirety, which is fucking utterly preposterous. And on that note, I'll chat to you soon.